What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ESL studios. Welcome to sunny Cologne, because it is a beautiful day out today.
Yeah.
We're in this nice, dark, kind of lit up studio. It's the relegation week, is what it is, boys. I've got
dark and light, Jason, just like your soul.
Yeah, exactly. Two sides of a coin. I've got the Beaver. I've got Henry.
Yep.
How's it
the
going?
Wolf.
Yeah.
We call him now.
Yeah, he's the wolf. We even howled. I even howled for him.
Yeah.
How would you allow him to get a sick animal as a nickname?
He was
This
allowed.
is your doing, wasn't it?
Well, for some reason, the PGL staff ran with me being the Beaver, so it just took off from there, and Hank stole the wolf.
And it went down a storm, I have to say.
Oh,
Everyone was embracing it. Everyone was howling. I walked past. It was
That's
great.
unbelievable. Well,
Yeah.
in case you're wondering what the relegation week actually consists of, this is the culmination of the Mountain Dew League season. The Mountain Dew League is the direct path to the Pro League. All the teams that play in the Mountain Dew League have a chance to qualify, so obviously we're going to see Penta, we're going to see Big, who are going to play relegation match against HellRaisers and Virtus Pro. That's going to be spicy, isn't it,
That
boys?
really is.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought Virtus Pro, once again, down that relegation position, Chad?
Yeah, and it's weird because in the middle of the season is where they had that big drop-off, and now towards the end of the season they were kind of bouncing back, especially in ECS. They've been having really good results. This is the type of team who plays to the level of their opponent, I might even say. They seem to play much better when they not respect the opponent, but when it's somebody on their own level, right? So I'm expecting big things out of them here in the relegation. I think they're going to...
He's done it. I did that so much in the Mountain Dew League
Mm.
finals that I was at this week, and it's actually disgusting. We need to talk to them about their names. Let's bring up the EU standings, though, because, I mean, Pro League ended last week. We've got the LAN finals in Dallas coming up, I think in just about 10 days or so, little over a week. As you can see, North, G2, Mouse Sports, Fnatic, Envy, and Navi are going to be at those LAN finals. And at the bottom, the three names that are grayed out, you can see they're playing in relegation.
King wins automatically down.
Yeah, they're
right?
automatically dropped down.
Yeah.
Godsend's going to take their place. Virtus Pro is going to have to play against Big, as I mentioned, and HellRaisers against Penta. That is what we're going to be doing tonight. So let's check out the schedule for the evening, just so you guys can see exactly what's happening. And the way this is going to work, it's set up like a GSL group stage. So it's not just win and you're in. It's a bracket. It's a double elimination. So obviously the winners of these two matches today will have to drop down and play in the elimination match, and then we'll just play out the full bracket.
Yeah, so you can win 2 best of 3 to be qualified, or you're going to lose the bracket.
Yep, you can't just win one and you're in, so a little bit more difficult than that. But still, I mean, a big test here for, God bless it. We're going to do that all day, aren't we?
Big test.
Yeah, big test with Big.
A large test.
Either way, it is, you know, that time where, you know, we have the Pay Safe van vote as well. So make sure you guys, for the month of...
A Volkswagen.
I have to count which month. It's May, right? Yeah, it's a fan vote for the month of May. So paysafecard.com/fan vote to get your vote in to see which is the player of May, which is a little bit awesome because you can just basically base it off one week of Pro League, which is going to be exciting stuff. We'll come back to that when we get the results a little bit later on. But I mean, let's just dive right into it, boys. The first match is going to be Penta, and they were the winners of the Mountain Dew League finals this past weekend. They're going up against HellRaisers.
So I'm going to admit, Jason, we didn't get a chance to watch the finals, right? So we might as well put our hands up and say that.
Not only that, we do have someone who did watch the finals. Not only did he watch the finals, he was commentating the finals.
Yep.
So we're going to flip the switch a little bit here. We're going to be co-hosts in this little venture.
If you guys are just going to flat out admit that you didn't do the work that was required of you, that you were signed on to do.
We were doing 16-hour days.
I just want to make sure that you chose to accept another job over the work that you previously accepted. Yes?
Yeah.
This is fun. You guys are going to have fun tonight. I really enjoy this.
Lots of fun.
There's that
He
bus.
tried the reverse bus throw.
Yeah, he did. He kind of was successful as well, actually. I felt kind of scathed after that. That's a bit much.
Let's do this. Jason, can you give us your thoughts on what you saw from that event? Because that'd be a great way to transition into where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, with Penta, the story was Sonny was incredible, actually. He had a very good
former ends player, just to highlight as well.
Finnish player. And then so is HS, who is Estonian, also from, which is where Rops is from, who's on Mouse Sports right now. Those two players were incredible. High impact for Penta. But the one thing I noticed from them, and this is kind of the cool disparity between, you know, the Pro League and the Mountain Dew League, is that the strategies that they were using work against the other Mountain Dew League teams. It was very much like there wasn't a lot of defaults. They were very much kind of grouped up towards one side of the map. They didn't have a lot of map control.
That would make a lot of sense for the lower end teams, right? Because you're not so focused on the firepower. You're focusing. It's like how Counter-Strike, especially Source, used to be played as well. Like you're just focusing on the set executions almost every single round. You're grouping up and calling a strategy at the start. I didn't watch it, but that's my assumption. That was
I mean, it was very much like 4 players to one side, and then they just kind of focus on trading. So once the call comes in to hit the bomb site, so things like that aren't going to work against Pro League teams. Now, fortunately, they're not playing Virtus Virtus Pro, who we know can be one of the best teams in the world at any given day. Sure. They're playing HellRaisers, who's not exactly world beaters. So, I mean, they still have a little bit of an opportunity.
Yeah,
HellRaisers, they've looked good. I mean, obviously, HellRaisers is going to be the favorite coming into this, but the worry is that kind of T-sided tactic from Penta isn't going to yield great results.
Just to quickly delve off track a little bit.
Yeah.
How did my boy Big Dick Stacy and the Team Darksider go?
Yeah, he did pretty good. Actually, I was pretty impressed with Darksider. Actually,
yeah,
not gonna lie to you.
You liked what you saw?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, when like a new team is like coming up, it's the first time seeing them and they don't have a lot of
something like that.
Yeah, maybe North.
Yeah.
But they made like really good decisions.
Yeah.
And in certain situations, they made really cool decisions that you don't usually see from teams that don't have experience at this kind of a level.
Sure.
They almost beat Godsent. They went into, I think it was overtime with them.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I was lucky enough to have a break.
How disappointing is that Godsent can't win that kind of event?
But they're in Pro League next season.
Yeah,
so,
well, the interesting thing about Godsent is actually they said it in some of their post-game interviews was that they are having a lot of internal issues. And they
really?
were actually
they more specific?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, it was just interesting to see the players offer that information freely in the post-game interviews. That they still were kind of having problems with who's doing what role and how they kind of work together.
Yeah, what a fall from grace that is for Pronax. Like multiple major winner and now struggling in the Pro League. Not the Pro League, sorry, the Premier Mountain Dew League.
On LAN. On LAN, they obviously managed to qualify.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we just talked it through. They got actually 8th in the regular season, but once the playoff bracket for Mountain Dew League got presented, they kind of just stormed through it. So that's pretty cool. Let's move on, though, now that I've carried that segment for you guys. Let's move on to HellRaisers, something you guys can chime in on. This is the team that's going to be the favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. The recent performance of the Starladder event especially, they can run with the big dogs per se. Very good in terms of individual skill as well. They've got a solid map pool. Star players include Dead Fox, I would say Bondic at this point as well. Been very impressive, his overall performances. And yeah, they're looking like one of those teams we had no expectations of towards the tail end of 2016, but recently they've just been lights out, and I don't think anyone expected that at all going into 2017.
Yeah, for me, Zero's kind of been the standout, consistent force in that team. He's just like an all-round player. He's a rifler getting a lot of work done. The player who is, I guess, the swing vote, whether HellRaisers is going to do well or not, is Sticko, because he's a support player, and when he has a really good game, they're just running away with it, right? He can have a bad game and they can still win, but I think he's the one, he can be the barometer for the team. And then obviously Angel, he's that aggressive in-game leader. You know, he makes a lot of decisions that he would probably get angry at his own teammates for doing, but because of the way he approaches the game, he takes a lot of risks, and it tends to pay off from time to time.
Let's talk about this with Penta, just because, I mean, it's a team we don't get to see too often, so we can't really talk about too much specifics, but in a more general sense, one of the storylines that's always around the second-tier Polish teams is that, you know, they have Virtus Pro, right? And they're never going to get picked up into Virtus Pro, so they're kind of relegated to that second spot. This move by Innocent to get out of the Polish teams, to go elsewhere, is this something that you think we should see more of moving forward?
I think so, because it's joining those teams like Kingwing, for example, as well, it doesn't feel like they're ever going to achieve greatness. So it seems like that it's always going to be having the occasional upset at events, not really qualifying for much, and that group seems to be stagnating, that Kingwin group especially. But I think this is another international team. I think it's fair to say you've got Finnish players, German players, Estonian as well, so presumably they're speaking English in this team as well, so that's gonna be a bit of a struggle, but it seems like it's coming together. I haven't watched him yet, but Crystal, he's a very experienced player. He's been playing for like 10 years, about as long as I was back in Source as well. Sunny as well, I actually had him in one of my teams once. I actually sent him to a LAN, so I know a bit about him. Very, very good aimer, I have to say. What are you smiling at, Jason? Just giving you some intel.
I know, I like it.
I sent him to an Ice Series event in the UK once, and he won it. So there you go.
All thanks to you.
Yeah, all thanks to me. He played for ENCE as well, like we mentioned. So he was one of those players who's playing the lineup with Aloe in it. Okay. We're very disappointed with that project overall, I would say. But this seems to be coming together. That's probably his first ever LAN victory in CSGO. So that looks quite promising for him. I think he deserves it at this point. HS as well, a player that used to play actually in the UK scene for quite a long time. The last time I casted him was Pro League finals for the UK maybe a year ago with Alex. And
Premiership or something?
Yeah, something like that. And he was in a team called United Estonia, and they were kind of controversial. They'd have like 2 UK players and qualify for the UK event and then turn up and actually win it every single time.
I like that a lot.
And he was one of the standout players, and I always thought this guy is way too good to be playing at this level. So it's good to see him coming up.
He was very, very impressive actually at the Mountain Dew League finals. Pretty cool to see someone at the first event doing that well. So, I mean, now going into a BO3 series, I guess this is where we have to take it next, just because this is not just one map, right? This is an entire series.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to actually? I mean, I know this is going to be a very general question, so you know, don't kill me for it. But like, what is the difference between playing a team that's so favorited in a BO1 versus a BO3? Like, what's the biggest hardship in that change?
For being a best of 3, obviously favors the better team tremendously.
For sure,
so you can, in a best of 1, there's a chance for an upset. You lose both pistols, and then the economy spirals out of control, and then there's a massive chance for those sort of upsets. The best of three, more of a stable playing field. That's why people, obviously at events, the teams prefer the best of threes because they feel like the results are less random, if you will.
Yeah.
So this should be quite a clean cut affair. HellRaisers, I think, obviously on paper, much stronger team. They competed at high-end competitions, but I'm not sure. Like you said, Penta seemed quite predictable. So maybe they just rely on the set pieces over and over again. Is that going to work in their favor? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm only speculating at this point. Like I said, didn't really get the catch.
And not only that, if you were following Twitter, Sunny and Zen, they had a bit of delays on the way home from the Mountain Dew League finals, and they're only just landing and getting home now, right? So they're going to sit down, set up, get ready and raring to go.
I quite like that.
That's going to be a bit of an issue for them, obviously, right? Like you want to be able
it's
to.
Tuesday today, right? Why didn't they go home on Monday?
Apparently they missed a connection or something like that.
Okay.
And, it just took that long.
Well,
yeah.
We know the nightmares of travel.
Of missing flights.
I've missed a few flights. I don't know why I'm saying that. I've missed about 5 flights in the last year. So.
For vastly different reasons.
I just really like the fact that we're seeing a lot more of these international squads pop up, right?
Yeah.
And having things like Rank S and their competitors around the world where, players can actually, obviously speaking English, it seems to be the international language, right? And then they can build with people from other regions and build teams that are exciting just because you don't have to play with people in your home country, right?
Think about Mouse Sports, right? They've got 2 players from FPL. Obviously, Oscar was a known player from 1.6 before, but he was kind of came onto the CSGO circuit through FPL, and same story for Robs as well, right? So it's kind of cool to see that those players coming from those sort of kind of ideas and concepts. That's kind of interesting, I think.
I'm going to look intently into the... Oh, it's off me now. Yeah. Staring into the camera.
Yeah, you were about to... That was going to be really cool. Well, I know they're doing like the map veto right now, so as soon as that's ready, we'll pull that graphic up and get a little bit more into it.
If you want to talk about what not to do in the veto for a team like Penta,
let's do that.
That would be if you haven't prepared properly and counter-strated what they do on some of their strongest maps, don't pick into them.
Okay.
Like, even if your best map is, I don't know, say Cache, and HellRaisers' best map is Cache, just don't pick it.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to go for those wild cards, don't you?
Yeah, because that way you want to make the veto as random as possible for the favored team, because it's highly unlikely they're going to have counter-strated anything. Like, really, they're just going to rely on the fact that they're more prepared. They might have watched a few demos, or the coach has watched a few demos just to see which pace they approach the game with. But you're not going to go into detail. You're not going to go, this player likes to do this every round. And
I'm not so sure about that. Like, considering this is a big deal for HellRaisers, right? This is like staying up in the Pro League.
You also have to imagine as well with HellRaisers, maybe since they had the weekend off, right? I mean, the Penta was over.
They could have been watching them the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been watching.
They have a full-time coach to LMBT is still with them, I think. Is he not? Is he someone else now?
LMBT is with Mouse Sports.
That's right. Okay.
Jonta is with
there you go. So
HellRaisers.
they've got a full-time coach there. So he probably was like watching those demos closely and actually getting some nuances. Probably not too much,
Yeah, I mean that's the other kind of big thing you can look into this. I don't think Penta has a coach.
You were there.
I know I was there.
Yeah, you were there, Jason.
I don't think anyone was behind him. I can't quite remember though. It all
just too busy having Nando's and
it's having fun as usual.
Nando's was really, really disappointing.
Oh, come on, Jason.
It was really.
What did you order?
Well, to be fair, we did go to a Nando's that said they didn't have any of the butterfly chicken. They didn't have any of the chicken thighs left.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
I normally have the
I had the wrap. I had a grilled chicken wrap.
Yeah, that's normally pretty good.
It was quite nice, but I mean,
you have to have halloumi inside it. That's the trick.
It was okay. See, I didn't hear that trick. But I think it was mostly just it was so overhyped. It's like going to see one of those movies.
It's one of those things like you know it's not the best meal in the world, but it's reliable, it's cheap, it's quick. You pay before you sit down, so as soon as you finish, you're out of there. There's no tipping. It's a nice little procedure overall, I think.
Go with the boys. Nando's is a bit different in Australia than it is in the UK. We have a few different options.
All right.
We don't have the butterfly chicken.
Okay.
Ours are called chicken tenders.
I like where we're going.
Like tenderloins. Tenderloins, right? All right. They're really good. That's what I normally get.
Okay.
Peri peri salt on the chips.
Yeah, we do that as well.
I had that. It was all right.
What did you think about that?
You did okay.
It was good.
Did you get the Peronaise chip dip?
Did you go with Alex at least?
I did go with
Alex would guide you through it all.
But Alex, once they told us that the butterfly chicken was all out, he just kind of had nowhere to go after that.
He just checked out.
He didn't have a plan B.
His heart wasn't in it anymore.
So I went back the next day without him, and I thought about experimenting with the butterfly chicken, but I was pretty pleased with the wrap overall.
Wait, you just said it wasn't good. So why wouldn't you have gone?
I didn't say it wasn't good. I said it was disappointing.
Okay.
Mixed messages, aren't we getting?
Mixed messages.
Yeah. Think so?
Yeah.
I thought I explained that pretty nicely.
Well, I'm glad we got that covered anyway. What were we talking about before that?
Okay, so here's the thing. We got the map veto. The graphics not working, so I'm just going to show you.
I've got the veto right here.
It's Train, it's Overpass, and Mirage.
Do you want to know the order of picking and banning?
That's for you guys to discuss.
Yeah,
so
well, Penta removed Nuke.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a... So that must be their permaban, right? Because HellRaisers aren't fantastic on Nuke. They do dabble with it, but it's not a... Yeah, so that's probably makes sense there. HellRaisers removed Inferno. Did Penta have success on Inferno while they were at the Mountain League?
Yeah,
okay.
Big.
Close, though, wasn't it? 16-12?
16-13-ish, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, might be 16-12.
Penta picked the first map, which was Train.
Okay.
HellRaisers picked Overpass, which is a good pick. You know, that's a team... If a team isn't has great teamwork, Overpass is a choice where you can catch them off guard. But yes, I agree with that. Train is HellRaisers' best map.
It's one of their best. So they've done the opposite of what you were suggesting.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't listen. They didn't listen to chat.
No, they missed that segment.
Is that a blunder?
Probably. Penta then removed Cobble. HellRaisers then removed Cache. And the final map was Mirage. So these are all good maps for HellRaisers in my books.
I don't think we're seeing the third map from this veto what I've seen. I don't think it's happening. I think it's a clean 2-0 for HellRaisers, like a clinical one as well. I think I was 16-5 on the first map.
Yeah.
I'm going in.
16-5, huh?
Yeah.
Angel really gets in the backlines on this T side when he can get out Ivy or he can get out like Olaf or whatever, and he seems to get behind the CTs quite well. And then, you know, he'll send the rest of his teammates inside to do an execute. He just flanks, grabs a couple of cheeky kills. Nothing you can do at that point. Kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and pack her up, boys, you're going home.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously going to be pretty dangerous. Actually, I don't even think I saw Penta play Train, which is confusing why they picked it.
This doesn't make any sense to me. Let's have a little look, Joe. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll go on that Train page.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I didn't watch every single match that occurred, so they did play Godson on it.
So was it the event? Henry didn't realize that they beat Godson on at 16-8.
I actually...
Thanks, Jason. Back to you in the studio.
Probably casted that one as well, didn't you?
I didn't cast that one. I didn't cast that one.
Just didn't watch. No interest.
Do you watch every game that you're at an event?
Well, we did it. We did the 2v2, Jason.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Yeah, actually, I did watch some of that.
Pretty good, wasn't it?
Saw you guys just making messes of yourselves,
ruining our careers.
Puppets on the desk. Is that a new thing?
It was my idea.
I like to keep my hands warm. I like to keep my hands warm.
So I brought them with me.
Nice, good.
Yep.
Those were fun segments.
Yep.
Yeah, that was quite a fun event. Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good fun.
It was exhausting, wasn't it? Analyst lifestyle.
Yeah.
Hard to keep up with that.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for one more player to join the server before because Chad gets stressed. Just a little bit of time left, guys. Let's hold it together. We're just waiting for one more player to join the server. We can do this.
Give us one good question.
Just one.
I was relying on you guys for that one.
Okay.
So
tell us the MVP from Penta. Who's going to step up? Who's the difference maker for this team going up against HellRaisers?
On Train, that's the thing. Like Crystal, you'd expect the AWP to have something to do, but I honestly think it's going to be. Sunny. Sunny was incredible.
Sunny is sick, I think. In terms of like when I first saw him play, like I said, when we sent him to Atlanta, I couldn't believe how good he was individually. Like his aim seems really still laughing. I think his aim is amazing. And ends we cast him a few times as well as Assembly. His team was overall pretty bad, but I think as an individual player, he was great. So what is this? You said hold it together for the last minute, and you've just broken.
I'm not able to because Chad started laughing.
That's the end of it.
It's his fault. So, Chad, who's going to step up here for Penta?
Ask him about HellRaisers.
Why don't you just finish your answer? You didn't get a chance because Jason was
okay, so we're player to watch for Penta is going to be Sunny. We'll say that for now.
Okay.
And for HellRaisers, I'm going to go with 0. Oh no, is this Sticker that plays inside or 0?
It is 0.
0. So he plays that inside position. He's very passive with the M4, doesn't necessarily AWP so much. Dead Fox in the connector. I think 0 is really good on that upper ramp. And he's great. He doesn't get like multiple spray downs, but he gets like one frag as a...
And delays,
and he just delays, buys time for his teammates. Good nade usage to get some chip damage in, as Chad would say. And yeah, I think those are the players to watch on either side.
And you're going to go with Angel.
Yeah, I think so. Just to build on the point of 0 being that inside anchor and inside anchors in general on this map, people don't realize, it's not actually about getting the frags. It's just about mitigating the aggression, making sure that they stay back towards that bomb train. Once you've got that covered, giving the good information, right? So it's like if you're at the back of Pop Dog train, letting your teammates know, sure, they can push up oil. So when your rotator comes in, he knows exactly what he has to worry about first of all. If like little things like this used to happen in Renegades from time to time, the meta was shifting on train where teams weren't doing the low ramp smoke and they were just jumping the AWPer down and flashing the site and pushing the single site player, and the AWPer was just like posting up and watching connector. If your inside player has poor communication and doesn't let you know that low ramp isn't actually smoked, you just come flying out of CTCon and you get slammed for that. That's where it's not your job to know that that's coming as the rotator. It's your anchor's job to have good communication and to tell you what the situation is. So that's why a position like that, it's so much more to it than just fragging, right? It's one of the hardest positions because of how much you have to do.
Well, that's why we see players like Zipnix as well. Like that's one of the big talks about him and why he's such an impactful player is he does all those kind of fundamental things. Either way, everyone's in the server. We're going to get started. It's Penta versus HellRaisers. It's a BO3 for a spot in the ESL Pro League next season. We're going to send it off to Lauren and Mitch over in the studio.
Thank you very much, Moses. From the studio to the studio, an interesting segment as always. Has its ups and downs. Still a better story than Love. Well, I'm done.
Still
a better love story than Twilight. Seriously, I've had a few too many rattlers this weekend. But we're going to be jumping in. And for HellRaisers, of course, this is pretty important. Now, I didn't even think they'd be falling into this bracket, actually, in terms of relegations until the last day where things just went wrong for them.
Yeah, no, it's been a really rocky road for HellRaisers, it feels, throughout the season. They picked up some decent results. You saw some potential coming through. But then again, there's so many other teams who are so competitive throughout this that, you know, it has been such a tough season for everyone. Now, Penta as well, they've got so much upcoming potential, I think is the best way to put it. HS has been turning heads for a while, and a lot of people put him in the same position as Rops now, or, you know, along that same vein. Of course, they're both Estonian, but, you know, quite a lot of firepower beside them. And the guy, you know, could do a lot of damage here. Sunny and Zen, everyone knows the two Finns. That's not too surprising. You know, I think Sunny's probably done more in the spotlight with Ents than most of the team. Innocent as well out there. He's not exactly unheard of. The guy, you know, he was at CSGO Lounge, around the Polish scene as well.
They had some upsets as well in their time.
Oh, yeah.
That second-tier Polish team, or I guess there were a couple of them at the time, you know, sometimes they would give us some of those interesting results.
Yep, definitely. And then there's Crystal. You know, people have known Crystal for a long time, and the guy is very good at DDR as well.
We've actually seen a lot of Crystal, us personally, with all the German CS. We used to cover specifically Meisterschaft and EPS and stuff like that. Always known as a super crazy aggressive player. With the AWP even. Didn't really have much regard for his own life, but it's going to be the pistol round coming up in just a moment. And this is actually a good map for Penta lately as well, Lauren. They're 12-3 on it, so we can talk about HellRaisers being strong here, but this could go either way.
But then you have to take into account who they're playing on it and on what sort of basis. HellRaisers will play this against Tier 1 teams, and they'll beat Tier 1 teams. Penta, sure, they're playing the kind of Tier 2 a little lower. They'll occasionally kind of, I guess, crest upwards and do maybe face off against someone who's more Tier 1. But then again,
a big step up.
Yeah, this is a very, very steep incline. So if they can do it here, this would sit in their pocket as an incredibly strong map and certainly turn a lot of people's attention. We'll see how Penta fare. This is all eyes on them. HellRaisers, this is their best map. They are favored in this matchup. It should all be theirs, but let's see if Penta can do something. These guys, you know, they're young, they're hungry, they want to put their names on the map, and the Pro League is the way to do it.
It's the only way through as well, and HellRaisers would hate to have to struggle to fight another game together. We've seen Penta in the Pro League before, and this might be their newest inception, a new look for them, but Bondic steps out and challenges Innocent, punishes him badly. At least it's traded by Sticko, who's standing right back in center, backs away through the smoke.
Again, these scripted pieces you can expect to see from Penta come through, and so far the firepower is keeping up. Zero, Sticko, and Dead Fox, all four, they've got complete control of the site. Angel's over in con, but I don't know how much play he's going to get out of this. HS has got a nice little passive angle, so if Angel tries to push out, he'll have to check that corner incredibly deep, and then kind of expose himself to Sunny if he does so. And there we go, Angel takes the first fight. You can see that instantly someone's back there. Smoke comes in again. Too many obstacles in his way. First round goes to Penta. 4 alive and a bomb plant. Very nicely done.
Everyone on the side of Penta getting a kill and making a contribution in that round, and it's a good start indeed for Penta. We're so used to referring to these guys as if they were a German team, but it's far from that now.
I made that mistake recently. You know, I was like, oh, you know, it'd be good to see, you know, 2 German teams coming out when I was thinking of big as well. And I was like, wait.
Hey, how'd Twitter go for you after that one, Lauren?
Oh, people are so forgiving. No, it is true though. In my mind, I'm constantly thinking that it's going to be the same old rosters.
Sure.
You know, I see Chris, I'm like, same lot.
We watched them for 2 years. You know, all those guys, Stavros, Strux, all of them come through. But now it's a bit of a different story. And Innocent, the Polish representative, starts off well. Good response from Sticko though with the scout. Put Sunny down. And
look at the amount of rifles they've gone for as well on towards Penta. 2 up for now, and they've got the Galil there too. Innocent's just kind of charging in. Got to be careful to not get picked apart, and he has been. Dead Fox there, going to punish Bondic as well. This is all going a little bit wrong here. Now, Crystal and H both just got tagged. This is really problematic. It looks like they've kind of hit the brick wall, and that brick wall is CZs and a scout.
Completely smashed by those CZs for the most part. Their Crystal just wanders out and knows he's got pretty much no hope in that round. Interesting to see the player trying to push up around the outside of that outer sight there. Was very easily caught by Dead Fox with the Desert Eagle. That works if the CTs are looking elsewhere. Not enough pressure applied by Penta towards the center of the map. So 1 apiece now.
With a Deagle buy up Tech9 on Zen. Outside of that, a couple of smokes as well. But on the other side, they recovered the rifles. HellRaisers are in a good spot now. Sunny somehow evading almost all damage from those nades, only just about getting tickled by that one. And Sticko playing pretty passive down by Ivy. He might take a swing on this though. Spots out one. One's already crossed. That could be a bit of a problem. But Bondic's going incredibly aggressive. Sunny completely flashed. Couldn't do a thing about it. And Crystal gets swept away as well.
And they'll see the bomb there as well. So HellRaisers have a lot of map control, and Zen was forced to try and challenge Sticko to maybe even the scales a little bit more. But on all fronts, HellRaisers have been very solid this round. playing aggressive over towards T-Con, and then Sticko just holding this position in Ivy. Makes it hard for Penta to actually identify any weak points here, and haven't done so far. HS, that was very much just wishful thinking, trying to find something with his Desert Eagle. And Innocent across the map. Good pick on Dead Fox, but it's a long road to hoe from here, Lauren.
He knows another. Sticko could be the downfall if he pushes out too far. But Pondig wants this fight. And I actually quite like the way HellRaisers are playing. They're just not scared at all. They're just taking fights. It's risky, but it'll get in the minds of Penta. You know what I mean? If HellRaisers keep playing this, like, not necessarily no respect, but this very aggressive style, you'll be frustrated if you're Penta. You won't get the chance to do those set pieces that you like. Your money's already been kind of ruined here at the start after picking up a very good pistol round. And they're going to be in no better position this round, of course, as well. So again, just on the pistols, light investment to around 2k, nothing much more. A flash here and 2p 250s. And on the other side, a couple of upgrades for them as well. HellRaisers looking for the long term now.
Innocent again, going to push out quite quickly as soon as the flash dissipates, but he's forced to try and line up Dead Fox at long range, and it's going to be far easier for the man with the M4 in hand. Bondic also making things happen from the bomb train, and this is, you're exactly right, Lauren. HellRaisers are more than happy to play forward on this kind of map, on this CT side, and Penta are very much struggling to get in, especially in that kind of round. They pay so much to even get a small amount of progress on the outer side.
Now, though, the fun part for me is when Crystal gets an AWP, can he punish this? Now they're back on a buy. It's not perfect. They don't have that full utility. You're going to be missing some mollies, even flashes at this point. But they're fine otherwise. They've got the firepower with them. Crystal, I want to see if he can maybe make something happen with the AWP. If HellRaisers are going to be this, hell-bent on taking fights, playing for picks, then he should be the one to kind of try and dismantle that. And look at this again, aggression. Sticko's going to be going straight out. Underhand flash comes through. Crystal is waiting on the other side with Zen, but a deep smoke to follow up as well. They can't play through that now.
Really nicely laid by Sticko.
They've done the same over at B as well. This is lovely from HellRaisers across the map.
They're boxing Penta pretty much in, and now again, they're going to be forced to pay heavy tolls to make any progress across this map. And to get information even has a heavy cost. Now as Angel actually experiences some of that himself, takes a bit of damage, he's forced to back away. Innocent, very tentative peek, some free damage.
And nice awareness from Innocent. If you watch HellRaisers, you know how they like to be aggressive on occasion, whether it be Zero or Angel, they make those plays happen. It's a very common angle, but people often kind of fall to it when they commit to that angle, so nice of him just to, take his time around it. So far, so good. Now, let's see how this one goes on.
It's a veritable hotbox in Ivy so far, but Crystal is still going to be stopped. That's a second smoke now used to stunt his progress. He and Zen will have to be patient. Bondic again playing quite forward. So is Dead Fox. 42 seconds left on the clock. Definitely needs to be a move made by Penta now, and it might be with Crystal and Zen at the 4.
Yeah, and keep eyes towards Dead Fox and Bondic because they are still pushing up towards Olaf. And there we go. First man to strike is Sticko. Dead Fox now again gets into the mix. Good trade out from Sunny, but by this point it's a 4v3 and you're down to 27 seconds. Sticko finds Crystal. This one, they don't seem to be able to handle this positioning, this sort of aggression coming out from HellRaisers, and Sticko and Bondic get great positions between each other and make it happen. The delay coming out from HellRaisers throughout that entire bit of utility. You throw in the touch of aggression. I say touch, there was a lot of aggression. You throw in the aggression as well down Ivy and over by the box halls by B. There was no reply from Penta. They couldn't really get much done, and by the time the hit came through, they weren't able to handle HellRaisers. Bit of a shame for Penta because, maybe you could have seen something happen there with the AWP. No opportunities for Crystal, really, or very limited amounts. So again, HellRaisers further their lead. You don't walk into this map against HellRaisers and not expect this to happen. And
now they're starting to build some confidence as well. This play we're seeing from HellRaisers is definitely a bit more flippant than what we have expected or have seen from them in the Pro League so far. They're feeling like they've got a bit of a skill gulf between them and Penta, and now they're just trying to work to exacerbate it, and they can go for some weird stuff. Now, speaking of that, Penta have the Tech 9s, the P250s, and a couple of flashes ready to make this hit on towards this B side. But this isn't all in. This is a big commitment. We're going to look to players like Zero to really be a foundation piece here, as well as Angel tries to go for the spray. It's Innocent caught out. You can see HS gets across, but not without taking a lot of damage, and Zero from the top side is getting involved. HS down, 2 men to handle 5, and they've done it admirably too. It's just Zen on his own.
Flash goes up. Sticko did turn it, so Zen gets a shot, and, well, Angel was quite low, 14 HP. Could have maybe rustled something up then, but no. In the end, again, 5-1 now. It's getting to the point where you're just looking at that scoreboard like, just got to get it going, got to get it, got to get that round on the board, get that gun round into play. Now, Crystal, yet to buy up. I was wondering if he was going to go for the glass cannon. He has.
The crystal cannon, as we used to call it.
The guy has flair. I'll give him that. But then again, you've got the double off against him now. Angel and Dead Fox both giving that one a bit of a go here. So, rough times possibly ahead.
And a lot of money on HellRaisers as well. They're building up a pretty comfortable bank, and it's going to be tough for Penta to break that down. This will be one of their best chances for the next few rounds. Angel to receive there. Turns the flash. Still affected by it quite heavily, though. And Zen now with a bit of wallbang. This is going to force Angel away from that position and back. Zero is actually on the connector side here, so no one right now has a really good eye on upper ramp. Now Zero forced to just switch over. Bit of damage there from a grenade. One would surmise as Penta take a chunk. Here's that upper smoke. This might be signaling the drop down, and Angel wants to get a couple questing shots through. HS just eats that one right up. Not a great start for Penta at all, losing one through the smoke.
No, and Dead Fox finding Sunny is even worse. Zero, though, still alive on the site. Finally gets overwhelmed by Innocent playing through upper, but there's an instant trade out. HellRaisers never lose the advantage at these points. Crystal is going to give it a go, and the guy has some flair, and you're seeing it now, but now Burning Alive has to try and evade those flames. Goes up on the train, but merely to land another Bondit goes down. Crystal's doing it all.
Oh, we've missed him. We have missed this man, no doubt about it, but now there's still more to be done. 37 on Crystal. It's 23 on Innocent, but the bomb is down. That's the most important part. No molly available on Angel, but to make this a little bit harder. He's looking healthy right now. It's a smoke towards upper. He's going to trade up for an AK now and give this one a bit of a tickle. Let's see if he can draw Innocent out of hiding.
Innocent plays this smart. But smart doesn't win you everything. Bit of brute force does it in the end. Angel there. Going to take the fight, win it around. And, well, Crystal, you got 3. You made it look exciting. But the problem still stands. There's 1 round sitting beside Penta.
No one questions, I guess, Crystal's individual skill as well. And he's been playing for donkey's years. Even Henry remembers him. So, I mean, no joke. And this is the guy that can produce those plays on a dime. But it's a consistency, I think, that always held Crystal back a little bit more. It was definitely, that was the question, why is he really a top AWPer? And Germany is actually very, very good at producing top AWPers. You think back to even guys like Light, who was on the old Euronics roster, and even other Penta players before him. But consistency's been an issue for him, and you can see why Penta have been up and down between Pro League and Second League. That's what I'm going to call it. It's changed. The name always changes, Lauren. An Ivy smoke though. Penta still rebuying back into this round, of course. Bomb plant earlier on to help.
And yeah, well, we'll see if they can maybe muster something up here, but I think this is kind of what we all pretty much expected as to happen, how it's going to happen. You don't get away with this sort of thing against a tier 1 team. You walk into their best map, and you may be good on this map against other, lower tier teams, but this is getting a little bit dire now.
No, yeah, that's the thing. They're really good on this map against lower tier teams, but you can see the skill gulf right now, the way the HellRaisers are playing. They're a very different brand. We actually saw them really slow down their play this season a lot more than they used to. Angel used to have them go really aggressive. In the last few games, they played it far more tactically. Now, they perhaps don't need to. Dead Fox going to relieve some of that pressure early, taking away Crystal, arguably one of the most dangerous players on the side of Penta. And now it's in an HS and make the way through. Now, that was a bit of an oversight there from HellRaisers to allow them through, but it's traded out, and then Bondic puts it to bed. It's Sunny now to try and keep things going.
And it's only Sunny. Let's see what he's got here. Bit of a missed shot on the first. Looking for another opportunity. Gets that one. Bondic down. He's got 6 HP, though, taking so much damage throughout this. It's not going to be fun. Sticker's already repositioned as well, deeper towards Ivy. And Zero's the one with the HP, so he needs to play this one smart, play it calm. Almost bait Sticker, I guess, at this point. But Sunny's going to try and get the plant, and it doesn't go well.
No plant there for Penta's pretty nasty. And not going to be another buy for them here, not for another round or so. Obviously, they've lost the last 7 consecutive rounds, and Bondic is definitely flying high at 11-3 right now. The money's also quite nice on HellRaisers. So a couple rounds where they've been cut down to 2 or 3 players, but it's been very, very hard for Penta to get a look in. And again, they're going to go for some pistols. We saw this get absolutely dismantled between both Angel and Zero over on that B site. Perhaps something else is afoot, though, here. What is it? Quasi attempted a fake here. A couple smokes down on this A site, so they might try and push this T-Con. There. Pretty comfortable spray down. To back away. It's looking a little bit easy.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I think there are opportunities in other maps. I think that you're just coming to a map that suits HellRaisers as a team and as individuals. So I don't know how you're going to get around it. You've got specialists on this map over at B, which basically means you can put 4 players towards A and feel confident in it. You've got the double up now as well. That's been in play for a number of rounds. So, wherever you want to play it through, that's perfectly fine as well. You can push up towards those box halls if you fancy it. No matter what, you're going to have opportunities here. And Crystal this time, AWP in hand again. We saw some fireworks before, but let's see if anyone's willing to take the challenge. Zero's going up for this. They're both pushing. Angel's there too in the lower side, so might be a bit of a double face.
still, from where Crystal's standing, it could be punishable. Sunny getting up close, though. Angel maybe getting a little bit too far forward, but it's traded out still. That's important. Zero now with the Molotov to try and waylay, but it doesn't seem to do too much. HS is already on the side, as is Innocent. Molly's now over towards Connector, so now really HellRaisers have to get a move on, and Dead Fox is caught amongst the fire.
This is the first real shot they've had in this game, it seems, but with 4 alive now, 3 towards B, 1 towards those box halls. HS finds Sticko, and now Bondic. Does land the nade, but to get past the next two would mean incredible mistakes coming through from Penta.
And Bondic's made enough sound that Innocent knows exactly where he is. Quick correction from Bondic, but perhaps realizes that this is mostly done. Good response as well from Penta playing through that brown halls. It was a very quick trade, but as soon as that occurred, Penta were already onto the site. 2 Molotovs over towards Connected, clearly catching Dead Fox out. He wasn't in a position to do much in that round at all. A lot of real estate was given over to Penta before HellRaisers could even respond. Nice showing.
Yeah, it's the risk you take when you get aggressive consistently. Sunny landing the shot really helped out, of course, and then you go through. So I guess a bit of a shout coming through from the desk was Sunny. You know, a lot of people highlight this guy to be, you know, one of those. I don't know if you can even count him as an up-and-comer. He's been around a while now, but you know, he's maybe breaking a little bit more, seeing him in this sort of environment. But he's always been a bit of a fragger coming through, especially, you know, even in the end stage. He was spotted out very early on. Deep connector smoke comes in to allow them to maybe a faster B hit here, and it is exactly that. Zero now is aware of what's coming his way. Doesn't really find one, but there's good damage on the second, but HS lining up 2 is impressive.
Yeah, Angel was in the smoke there. That deep connector smoke, HS just sprayed it down and caught a second player. Really nice stuff, and this B execute now really starting to come into its own. HellRaisers going to have to put their heads together and think about how they can avoid this from occurring. Because that was lightning fast. Loss of 1 player for Penta. Bomb is down. Sunny and Connector. Zen and HS are pushing out back towards his spawn here, so Sticker needs to be very careful.
Can we appreciate how much Sunny Bob's gun would have cost him just in stickers? Can we just have a little look over at big Sunny Bob? Sunny, press 6, observers. Go on, you can do it. 4 house stickers on a red laminate.
Really?
It's crystals. Well, you
that
like
makes
this.
a bit of sense.
But yeah,
How much do they go for, stickers?
Disgusting amounts, the Howl ones. I can't even remember how much they are now individually. But 4 of them on a red lamb. Gotta love it. All right, 2 stay alive, which is actually quite important for HR. Keeps their money pretty robust, because it feels that Penta have finally found a bit of a way in. That B site, as robust as theoretically it is, they found a little bit of a route. Now, would you be able to do it 3 times in a row? That's the question. Or would you switch it up now, because you'll make the assumption that HellRaisers want to try and bolster numbers towards B. This is the mind game that now begins.
And the initial rollout here for HellRaisers doesn't include a second player at B here. So a fast push may have made something happen, but that's why Zero's going deep. And Zen might be caught. Oh no, it's Crystals, Molly. Oh, that's not ideal at all. Still, Sunnybob managed to find Angel here. Bondic playing up very close. This round descending into chaos somewhat here, and Penta have got to be kicking themselves because this was their big opportunity to give them that buffer heading into the second half. But that's just Innocent on his own. I'm not really sure how, was that a missed molly that hit the door? Or was it just on the corner? I really can't tell. It seemed to
hit the corner.
It's thrown by a very experienced player, no less. So one has to wonder what happened there. I was actually looking at the minimap to see where Zero was going in that round, but it didn't seem to matter much. Innocent will have to creep his way back. The bomb is too far away for a 9 HP player. And you can see he's got $2,700 in his pocket. So Penta not fully established on economy. Decent amount on players like Zen, so they can buy this round. They throw some weapons out, but still less than ideal and a terrible start in that one for Penta.
Yeah, I just looked up. It's almost $600 worth, and yeah, completely blinded up.
Okay.
And that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Oh, he was almost out too.
So I guess Chris was trying to move out of the way of the mollies, and he just kind of launched his awkwardly. I don't know. Bit of a shambles. A bit of a shame as well. That could have been maybe 9-4, but excuse me, around that marker 8-4, but it isn't.
Oh, Sunny.
Sunny, it's all right. Not going to set the world on fire this time, but stays alive throughout the molly. Just like, guys, look what I can do. Don't die to Molotovs. It's fine, Dead Fox. Even though blinded, that's a bloodbath and a half. You got 4 kills back to back, and well, the obituary reads very one-sided.
So what have we seen so far from Pentaline? We've seen they just stacked obviously Ivy. Not very successful. It's been unsuccessful on multiple occasions. Their B hit's been pretty good, but they're reluctant to try it too many times. Even though the prior round, it was only Zero trying to play forward earlier. They tried to run out on A, didn't work. Obviously, Molly's killed themselves.
Yeah, honestly, the thing is that theoretically, they're quite good at this. You've seen those scripted B hits, they're not bad, they're nice. You see the deep connector smokes, but they just can't handle the aggression from HellRaisers at all. If they pick up maybe one more round, you give yourself enough buffer to try and make it through to the next half with a little something. But still, yeah, this is a bit of a beatdown so far, and it's pretty frustrating for Penta. You're not really getting your time to do what you want. You're kind of being bullied around by HellRaisers. Zen here. Not going to get it done. Trying to set up the play. Flash comes through. And they might get a bomb plant out of this, unless Angel can get in there quickly. But how much do you want to commit there? Crystal does find him. And the bomb's planted. Anything else is a benefit, and that's job done.
Bomb being down, you'll notice Innocent doesn't actually have any utility to prolong a potential defuse or interrupt it, so you shouldn't be expecting anything crazy about it now. He's probably just going to try and win out against Bondic here. As the bomb gets defused and the round is done, it's 11-3 for HellRaisers, and Penta definitely going up against probably the hardest team throughout this relegation process first. But this is also the team that we saw manage to get to win out over Big on the weekend and take the whole thing. So.
Yeah, and if you kind of take it from that perspective, how strange is CS at the moment, where I feel that the bigger threat is Big against Virtus Pro over this game. And so far that's true, right? It's played out to this degree. Whether or not we see that Big can actually impact their matchup, I'm just curious now. I mean, it's one for the analysis desk, of course, to break down. We've still got a best of 3 to play out here, but it's in the back of your mind, isn't it?
Especially at this end of the Pro League season as well, and this end of the table. Some very interesting results. Nice by Angels, paying dearly for that damage, but Zero's going to be there to back him up. This tandem play, and
so lovely.
Zen just had to commit himself to the flames there. I guess save on mortuary bills, perhaps. No other choice. I believe he was surrounded by it there. So Molly's been really well used by HellRaisers in this match as well, and Penta have had them backfire a couple times. They have definitely struggled from the forward position the HellRaisers have been providing. And it's Innocent again. He's got the bomb, but his odds are planting it up very, very low. He challenges down Angel. An opportunity here to get the plant, but he stops it. Nade skidding overhead. And that one finds its mark. Dead Fox to get the kill on Innocent, and it's been a very tough start here for Penta.
Yeah, it has been rough from the word go. Getting reset in that second round. One of the rounds out of 3 that they currently own, of course, being that very first pistol. And it was just very, very much an uphill struggle, but not that we're too surprised considering it's Train and it's HellRaisers.
That's it. After the break, we're going to see if Penta can fight back in this one, or they're going to start this best of 3 from a nasty deficit. We'll see you soon. Sometimes even literally a baptism of fire for Penta. Trying to get their way into the ESL Pro League, but in their way stands HellRaisers. They were born by the flames, molded by them in fact, and so far it's been a tough one for this new European mix to try and take it to the Old Bloods here.
And Train was always going to be one of those where it kind of raises an eyebrow. You walk into this against HellRaisers, you've got to know what you're in for. You've got specialists on this map, and that clip just then was a bit of a moment there from Zero as well. But we saw some flair from Penta, excuse me, from Crystal specifically, I guess we can say. But, you know, Sunny was doing fine as well, but no one was able to go toe-to-toe. The aggression we saw from Penta on HellRaisers on their CT side was almost relentless. It was quite overwhelming, almost, it feels. And, well, we're going to see if maybe that can be done back to them. HellRaisers now on the T side. They've got 12 rounds beside them, nearly 3 with Penta. This could be over in a blink of an eye.
I think HellRaisers would love it if Penta tried to show some aggression here. I think that plays into their wheelhouse quite well. But Sunny, going to be the first player to see all of this action. Always dinked early. He's going to have to back away. Nothing to be done here. Zen has to try and get a little bit of chip damage across, but it's Bondic finding Sunny. Bob managed to punish that 3 health player, unable to escape. The molly in front of Connector, and it's all going right for HellRaisers. Bondic's way up the back here. You can see Zen was watching it, but he's not fast enough. His head goes rolling, and the bomb's already down. A terrible start again for Penta.
Yeah, a bit of a disaster, and this is a bit of a beatdown. Unless they can pull something off quite magical. They do have Crystal with a kit, but so many players in their way, and there goes Crystal. And Bondic's going to find Innocent, and it's just HS doing it all.
What do you say about it? He got 2 quick kills there, 1 prior, so he's on 3 for the round. He'd have to ace it out to win it, but the bomb was ticking the whole time. The pressure just getting worse. And HellRaisers opened that one up, and this is the nightmare situation for any team now. 3 rounds for Penta. All they scraped together in the first half. They lose the pistol in the second. Oh, this could be all but over right before our eyes, and Bondic's having a hell of a game at 21-6.
Yeah, Bondic's, a lot of these HellRaisers players, though, keep having these, peaks every now and then, and you just think, what happens when they become consistent? If they can, become consistent. Be a scary roster, but, that's beyond the point. This is a very good environment for them there against a team that, don't necessarily play against this level on a regular basis, so you kind of see them getting away with a little bit more here.
And raw skill in CS nowadays is a dime a dozen, Lauren. That's not the issue, and it's definitely not been the issue for HellRaisers. It's not why they're playing down in this relegation. It's not the issue for Penta as well, it's why they're falling out. There's a lot more to it than that, and Galil chimes in. Dead Fox, nice double peek there, and HS had no chance. He brought up the scout, hoping to give himself a chance, but now Sunny just feeds him into the mix, and now Molotov got to Crystal's feet. He's tagged down. Penta are just giving all the free kills here. I told you, this is what HellRaisers want. They want Penta to get aggressive on their CT side and give free money.
It's a nice little feed, isn't it, really?
It's not good.
No, I guess it's worth a try. What else are you going to do at this point?
Oh my.
That was not pretty, but it's fine. Bondic killed him quickly, so he won't have to reflect on that for long. 14-3. Don't replay that. This is quite nice, though.
Well timed.
Yeah, very, very nicely done between those two. But 14-3 being the scoreline. And Penta going to buy up in this, of course. Just going to buy whatever they can.
And you see the scout there as well. It was a tag on Angel, but that's an angle you watch where you often need to make a correction, especially if someone's getting boosted across the top of the scout. There's no AWPs on HellRaisers in that round, but you never really know where you need to aim statically.
I want to see how quickly they go about this round. I'm kind of curious. And it is going to be what I expect, that kind of quick, right into the game sort of approach here. Zero looks lost, but he doesn't come out any better, neither does his team. It's Zero and Bondic to try and do it all, and they quicken the pace and they just quicken the round, and not in their favor. Bondic now last man alive in a 1v3, does have the rifle, he has he has every piece of utility, and he has the bomb. So there's still chances here for him. And actually, none of Penta are looking... Okay, Sunny's side consider that he might be doing this, so Sunny's probably the full... Please, notice, no! Bondic gets away with it!
Oh, this is dirty.
And B's pretty open. Innocent's going to try and get there as fast as he can. That's a nice map. But yeah, Bondic's going to get a plant. He shouldn't be able to be denied here as well. Innocent's waiting, but now these two need to play perfectly together. HS and Innocent need to play this off very, very well.
It's a molly to connect to that. Won't really have any impact on the round as it is here, as HS and Innocent are playing from the same side of this B site. Now for Bondic, trying to get to safety and have a good angle to play from.
And Innocent and HS cannot allow 2 1v1s to occur. Now, Innocent jump in the corner. All right, he just baits himself. That's fine. It's a little risky, but it's fine. It got the job done. They had 1 man alive. And you almost felt then that could have spiraled pretty badly. But Bondic had to make a choice with almost no information there. And he got the job done in the end.
And that round from HellRaisers had all the elements of what I would call a junk rush here. Notice how much utility Bondic has, by the way. All of HellRaisers pretty much died with 2 or 3 nades. They actually didn't execute on that A side at all. They tried to play ahead of utility, hope to get an early plant, a quick contact play, and then screen it off from Penta and make it impossible to get any sort of retake, at least, to go 1 for 1. So they didn't do that. They got cut down before they used a lot of that utility, and unfortunately had to go down to the 1 player to try and save them. Bondic got close. Just an interesting way to see a round play out. We see it on Mirage A sometimes from teams who want to play ahead of those smokes, but it didn't work out.
Now, eyes towards Dead Fox for me. He's going to be looking down towards Ivy pretty soon, using Angel with him. Oh, we spotted him as well. Innocent, you've got to be careful now. Doesn't actually take the shot through the smoke either, just backing away from this now. Very slowly, of course, as well, not making a sound on it.
You see Crystal's in position as well, just to back him up if required. We might see a little bit of that slower HellRaisers we started to see manifest actually towards the end of the ESL Pro League. The more, I guess, ponderous and methodical side. Where in the past, they were very aggressive. Angel always wanted to bustle into sites and just try and take fights. We used to call these guys the antithesis at the time to Flipside, who were very much a mini Na'Vi. But our HellRaisers are looking a little bit more like that.
This is a very cautious round as highlighted. Molly's going in, and look how absent as well Penta are from playing down by Ivy. Crystal and Innocent are pretty, detached away from this. No one's watching it right now, which is kind of unnerving. Angel's out and Bondic's out, and I'm worried for Crystal. No one's really supporting him here. And they're not playing anyone from this point. You've got 3 players on the site.
They pulled this and out. I don't know why.
Maybe this is something they want to do. They're down to 20 seconds now for HellRaisers, so I guess this is fine, but it's hype. You've basically baited Crystal completely and utterly then for the sake of, I guess, the greater good, which is the round. So, I don't know. That's a little scary, a little sketchy, but it's another on the board. They keep the money building.
HellRaisers looking a little bit uncertain, actually, by the time they actually make their way onto this A site. They're either out of time or they just start to get cut down fairly quickly. Maybe a little bit too slow. We were discussing the modulation of pace from HellRaisers in their plays here. I've got to say, Zen has had a fairly quiet game so far. 3 frags for him over what has been 19 rounds. Well, I'm not trying to call them out. I'm just sort of, just want to make the note of it. One half of the Finnish contingent not quite reaching the lofty heights is required. Now Bondic going to press forward though. Crystal's found Dead Fox in behind him. He doesn't know Bondic snuck through yet. And he's a chance for Bondic, but he misses the first shot. He's going to have that up in his face, but he's got him. No chance to recover the weapon though. HS, good trade. And he holds strong from E-Box.
Yeah, now next problem is B. And Angel's made it a bigger one than expected. Now, you might be able to escort Sticko there towards the site to get the bomb plant down, but the retake is almost inevitable. You look at the positions they're in, you look what they've got. You got a Glock on towards Sticko, and now no longer has that either. Angel tries to find another Miracle Deagle. And with all this fire coming in, it's a little unlikely, but maybe he can make something happen here. He's found one. Dear Lord, please. All right, Innocence there. That gets a little worrying, doesn't it?
Well, they gave him a lot of room, to be fair. I think Penta just really put on the brakes after they lost that first player. And yeah, it's fine. So HellRaisers get in there. 3 kills, of course, and a bomb plant. It's going to supplement them nicely now. But I'm very interested to see what the next execute looks like, the next gun round. It's going to be just around the corner. Let's now have a look at what Angel was able to produce. There was that 1 kill there. Again, just piecemeal. Finds the head. But after the fact, he was getting pressured pretty hard there. So fair enough.
Yeah. Now we are going to see a good buy coming in from HellRaisers, which feels like it's been a little bit of time in the making. But now a double AWP comes out from Penta. So I don't know much about Zen and what he can bring as an AWPer. So, we all know about Crystal. It's very easy to kind of throw our minds to that. But Zen's a new look to my eyes. Maybe just that kind of secondary AWPer in the lineup. Maybe nothing to write home about. Maybe we'll see, because he's going to be on dealing with possibly 2 players coming his way if they actually commit towards this. You can see that Molly going through. No one yet to actually play through this yet.
Flash to force Zen away. That's not bad at all. It's going to give Sticko and Zero early position. Now it's going to force Zen straight to the back of that B side, actually. If he can't get an early pick, he needs to get a safe spot. We'll do so now. But it's not really been a high-paced pressure game in this round from HellRaisers. It's very much a matter of setting up here. And with Angel finding very little at Ivy, it's likely we're going to see some execute here from Brownhalls onto the B site. Already 1 smoke down. Interesting timings from HellRaisers, because they've dropped a couple of smokes here, I think, and still playing it slow.
Yeah, this B hit's going to be coming through pretty soon. So Zen's actually going to have to step up here. Sonny going to have to deal with the ramp. Zen, please don't mess the timing up here.
Oh, he's so vulnerable.
He goes out. He is right on a limb as well, and Zero's going right through. That's an easy pickup. He took a risk, he took a chance, and it wasn't working out well. Zero now charges ahead too. The bomb screen crossing over towards the site as we speak, and Zero lining him up here and knocking them down. And that's not going to go much better for any of the other Penta players. Innocent trying to play back into this, but it's been a bloodbath on B.
I really enjoy that from Zero, actually. A lot of players smoked that and dropped down to spools, and I think that's exactly what Zen was expecting, but instead, straight through the smoke for Zero. Incredibly audacious play, allows them to net that AWPer pretty comfortably. I mean, you do feel quite vulnerable when you're up on that spot as a CT AWPer, especially getting flashed out. Committed to it a little bit too deeply, and now Innocent is going to pay the price as well. And match point's going to come up here for HellRaisers. A little bit of a slower second half for them after winning the pistol especially. But they may have just found their grooves. Still mixed in that slow style of play, but good execution, especially from that upper side. Nicely done by Zero. I'm a bit of a fanboy. Always happy.
I know you like Zero.
Yeah, it's good. He's got great hair as well, actually.
He does have good hair.
It's annoying.
I was hoping we could see just a picture of
I
his
had to
hair
settle for looking like a
a
1960s Anchorman. It's the only way my hair responds, but he's got it going on.
I really like the way, what event was it we were at and she made your hair look really like Ron Paul?
Oh, was that Sydney?
That was Sydney.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
it was great. Anyway, back to that in a moment's time because Innocent actually did find some aggression and found Angel. No one else there to try and trade it out, so Innocent's get a nice little upgrade to the AK. HS. Oh, hello.
Okay.
This is... Ooh, that got a little bit unnerving, didn't it? Bondix, though, going to try and spin it further favorably towards HellRaisers. They do take over that A-bomb side. Zen maybe could do some table turning here, but it's looking unlikely considering he has that P250. Sunny is the one and only difference maker here.
He's got a chance, definitely. I mean, we're going to see how Penta try and play around this AWP. No early kills, but Zen finds one. That's the bomb loose there. No plant from HellRaisers. This might be a bit of pressure now. He's going to come straight back through, and Zen gets yet another one. A slow game for him. But what a comeuppance now in this round. 2 for him with nothing but a P250. There's still time in the round here for HellRaisers, but Bondic is very low and needs to secure the area.
And did Sunny just miss him?
No, he saw him. I think he's waiting on it. Surely.
Okay. All right, thank you. I got get a little nervous when I see him cross over there, but it doesn't matter. Apparently, all you need is a P250.
He could have been looking at the other side of the train, maybe straight towards the bomb cart, but...
And maybe I shouldn't write Zen out so early, but then again, he's at 5 to 17.
Well, he had a really bad start. That was just some nice play from him. It's definitely worth noting. All right, again, we didn't pull up his score just to try and make him feel bad, of course. It's a slower game. We see players of all calibers in that position. Calm down, Reddit.
You just don't want it in one of these games, do you? You know what I mean? Like, out of any game.
You can't have it. Simple as that.
Yeah. All right. So now the money's pretty broken for HellRaisers. You still got 3 rifles up. One's a Galil, but it's perfectly fine. Angel going to go for a bit of a quick play. Just going to go right through the smoke. Crystal is a little unaware, and a little confused. Maybe hearing a bit of a step towards the ladder, maybe not sure. And just going to have to hope and pray. Angel and Bondic, though, do the damage. This is problematic. Crystal's now surrounded, but he's fighting his way out as best as he can, at least, until Sticko gets there.
He's in a 6th spot right now as well. He can do a lot of damage, but he might not have to. Dead Fox has found Sunny, and Angel's wrapped around Ivy's side now. Zen will have no idea that he's there, and Angel's got himself an M4. No need to plant the bomb yet. It's time for some mind games, and Zen already backing himself away into connector. Maybe even committing a little bit too much to this side of the map. And there'll be a crossfire waiting for him as well. This is not a good situation. The percentages are very low for a player like Zen. Again, doesn't see Dead Fox here, so he crosses by without knowing.
I'm worried the Dead Fox might have seen him. I'm not sure. We'll see if Angel's watching this instantly. Yeah, he's definitely saw him. He caught a bit of a glimpse. And, well, there it is. Zen just offers himself up in the end. It is done. It's dusted. At least for map 1. HellRaisers, of course, look way better in this one. It's Train. Penta walking into this, you've got to think that they either had a master plan or they made a bit of a mistake in that veto, or maybe just backed themselves a little too much in that.
Hey, if you want to make a deal with the Devils and try and get yourself into the ESL Pro League, you're going to have to beat them on some of their good maps. There's no doubt about it. Train definitely being one of them. Strong performance from HellRaisers. Let's head over to the desks now with Moses and the lads to break it down.
Yes, thank you. I am here with the beaver, with the wolf.
Yep. Thank you. That's my catchphrase.
That's what it is right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward match.
Well, this is why we thought it was weird they picked Train, right? You could see how strong HellRaisers are on the map.
Let me set this one up for you guys.
Oh, go on.
Back in the Renegades days, me and coach/manager Gomez, we came up with some terminology for stuff like this. This situation is double limb bracket. So right now, we said that it looks like they're going into the Lion's Den, right? That being HellRaisers' best map of Train, or at least one of their best maps. So they've gone deep into the Lion's Den. But it actually could be a bear trap that they've laid, because they might be thinking they could be playing HellRaisers further down the track, just like we saw FaZe do to Astralis. So this map could reoccur in this series later down the track in the bracket, and then they come out on top, jumping on my
Do you really think
bears.
that's what they've done?
No, I don't.
I quite like the build-up, though.
Like, considering they've just got off a flight and they just rushed to the game, they're thinking, let's play a map we're not very good on.
I just think they were completely outplayed all over the shop, really. You know, it looked good when they got that pistol around. I was like, all right, they had a bit of sparring, you know, some set smokes and stuff. They pushed out, they got the frags they needed to. Everything they kind of went their way on the T-side pistol, which is huge on train.
Yep.
Ecoed. Thanks for playing.
And I mean, the big thing is as well, they got like two gun rounds down the stretch as well. So if you convert that round, you get the 3 rounds of the pistol, you have 5 rounds. You have something to work with in the second half at the very least.
Yeah, it just felt like they couldn't really get much going at all on the outside bomb side. I felt like most of their success, we said 0 was going to be lights out towards inner, but actually the bomb went down a few times, came down to a lot of clutches in favor of HellRaisers overall. The bomb went down a few times, but overall they win the pistol and then he gets 3 rounds in the first half. They just couldn't get momentum going. As soon as they won that one of the gun rounds, the economy was just so large for HellRaisers, they could answer straight back with a double orb setup, with all the nades, all the rifles, shut them down, full reset. They have to build up the loss bonus once again. They just seemed like outplayed in almost every single facet there. The aim, the tactics, the aggression coming into the CTs as well. Penta just didn't have an answer for it.
Even when they did have success, I mean, Angel winning that 1 and 2, we talked about that.
Was it 1 on 3?
Was it a 1 on 3?
Yeah, it's still a really big round. It was the misplay, I think, that you were leading into there, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it misplay from Angel, oddly enough, even though he wins around using that smoke pretty deep on that upper ramp. So someone still could have peeked him and had cover and everything like that.
You want to be like, in that situation, just to describe how I'd play, or maybe other pros would as well, you're smoking the bomb and then touching it, and then you're trying to bait everyone out at the same time. They hear the smoke go down, you touch it, and they're going to start panicking, maybe start spraying the smoke, you're hiding, come and get the easy pickings. That's how you kind of shut down terrorists waiting in those sort of positions. But he threw the smoke up really deep as well, which almost made it useless because the terrorists could just push through to still a safe angle and then face the bomb as well. But it's actually worked out for them.
Yeah, that's the thing with the smoke, right? We saw it even in situations where we're not talking about a clutch situation. There was that execute that HellRaisers did on the inner bomb site where they actually smoked high ramp and it was a fake. 0 pushed out behind the smoke. He actually pushed through it. So the AWPer had pushed up high ramp, he'd naded through the smoke, and then he pushed up to go pick towards low ramp. 0 pushes through the smoke, which is not a wall by any means. It's merely just to shroud what's going on behind it, grabs a kill, and then the round falls apart from there, right? Because of that unorthodox move that paid off. It was a risk, like Lauren said during the commentary, and it was a good risk. So the way that you play around smokes, you have to assume that, you know, it's going to discourage people, but it's never going to keep them away completely. You can't throw it and ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a case I was thinking at the time that, you know, there is that kind of like, maybe not a one-way smoke, but there is a smoke you can throw it up a ramp where there's the crack underneath, so you can look to the back of bomb train. Maybe the operator is just assuming it's that smoke.
For sure.
Because it's kind of hard to tell from that angle. Either way, can we chalk this up at all to the fact we mentioned in the pregame that these guys had just landed a few hours back, travel in?
Well, it's difficult to see this really going in favor of Penta going forward. That was their pick, remember, as well. The train was theirs. We want to overpass next. And yes, I think you can attribute some of it to that. Some of the key players, I think Zen finished on like maybe 3 frags, 4 frags in total. He's supposed to be one of the other finished superstars. To Sunny didn't really turn up to this game whatsoever. Sunny was quiet as well. Who else was missing? I think Crystal was one of the few players that was fragging overall. Like, it just seemed like a poor unit, and no one was really stepping up. And I'm not sure whether that was the form you just saw over in Mountain Dew. Didn't look like it to me.
Yeah, I know that it's kind of been a joke for quite a while now about jet lag and you know, North America using it as an excuse going to events and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you know, the people making those jokes probably haven't done a lot of traveling in their time, and it's very difficult to travel and then perform at your peak, even if it is a short flight, right? Planes just have that weird kind of feeling about them. They're relatively
suck
draining.
the life out of you.
Yeah, for sure. And to kind of expand on that point, not necessarily in this this circumstance right now, but I would love to go back and look at all the tournaments we've had in North America over the last maybe 2 years and see how many more have been won or placed better by North American teams. So like SK obviously would be included in that. Renegades is one I would include, like you know, teams who are playing in that region, and see how much better they actually do in their home soil as opposed to when they come over here, right? Because that'd actually be something to look at, and then there maybe is something to the home court advantage.
Yeah, that would be interesting. We'll get someone on that. We have plenty of people that have plenty of time to do that somewhere. Either way, good. Yeah. Good opening match.
Slaves.
Good opening match from HellRaisers. They take it over Penta. Train was a cakewalk, and next up is going to be Overpass. We'll see if Penta can continue their chance at making it into the ESL Pro League when we return from the break.